Let's talk how to make even more money from your stock day trades with a little strategy here. And just to be, give a warning up front, it seems a little obvious like, well, no kidding, Clay, you can do that. But my point here is that I want to peel it back a little further and offer you up a little distinction because I do see it all the time and I get it. And when I say, you're going to say, okay, that's stupid. But just realize that there's a little bit more to it than what I'm going to portray. But at the core, it all comes from being confident. But not that, but knowing when to be confident, knowing when to actually have confidence. And before I tell you how you can make more money, just realize that if you're just doing this randomly, if you're just doing this in a sense of, well, I hope, I think, I just want this to work out, and you're doing it without any sort of true backbone of confidence, backbone of, faith in why you're doing it, then really this is a way to totally blow up your account in a bad way. This is a way to make your account go down the toilet. Now it can work out, but I want to make sure that you are actually doing this the proper way. So yes, this, doing what I'm going to tell you can lead to more profits, but you got to make sure that you're actually doing it within the right mental context. And that mental context, again, is all about confidence. So how do you make more money, or I should say even more money from a trade? Well, you add. You add what? You add to the position. Meaning, if you have, and I'll just use the numbers that you're going to see here in the live trade video, but if you have 500 shares, and then you add, well, now all of a sudden you might have 1,000 shares, depending on, of course, in this situation, if you add 500. Again, I get it. Well, no kidding, Clay. But I want to walk you through a situation and show you again. So I'm not going to sit here in front of the chalkboard the whole time, but I want to walk you through a live trade that I took from a snippet, and you're going to see exactly what I mean. In fact, when I decide and when I make the comment that I'm going to add, you may be thinking, wait, what? Why would you be doing it there? But let's just cut to the video, and I want you to watch what happens, watch how things play out, and then right before we come back to me at the chalkboard, you're going to hear me make a comment about adding to the position. So let's go and see some actual real-life results. All right, I do like 28. I'm going to get that alerted. 28 flush point, 1 minute. So if it looks like it wants to come down to that, and right around 28.15-ish area, I would be interested, especially now, because if it works its way down there from where it is right now, that implies that there's a failed bounce underway, which from the short side is a good thing. Holy smokes. All right, I'm in at 28.40, short 500 shares. I think this thing has a desired, just so much downwards pressure on it. Let's see if we can get it down to 28. Oh yeah, this level right here, 28.15. If that can go, it should behave very, very nicely in the bearish direction. But a lot of buyers here, which just kind of solidifies the whole idea that, let's see, what is that, 28? I might actually look to add some more. So yeah, as of right now, the trades may be looking like the thing's gonna go back up. And I should note that for you beginners, if you're just new and getting started, I am looking to make money when prices are going down, which is known as going short or shorting a stock. But yes, believe it or not, in the market, you can make money when values go down. So that's what I want to see here. But as of right now, you could very well be thinking, well, oh my, that looks like this thing is about to bounce. And of course, that's the case. But that is why it is so important to have what I always refer to as the list. The list is where your confidence is going to come from. Meaning on this list, you're going to have certain criteria that you want to see. You're going to have certain dynamics that you want to watch for. Now, these criteria, these dynamics, these requirements, they're going to be different for everybody when you get down to the fine tuning level, because we are all different in a sense of our personal risk tolerance. That's why you can't just go puppet trade somebody else, because you are not them, they are not you. You're going to have those little fine tweaks of personal risk tolerance. But my core point here is that when you do actually have a list, when you do have a backbone of a decision-making process, then hey, be confident. And when you notice these setups, when you notice things where you're just thinking, wow, that looks great, and you know it looks great because again, you have the list, then consider adding to the position. Because when you add, things can go your way that much more. Now again, if it's not meeting your list and you're feeling shaky and thinking, uh-oh, this is not exactly playing out how I thought, and you're feeling so in other words, you're not very confident, well, that's fine. At that point in time, you wouldn't add to the position. But when you do have that list and you can make that determination, when you can give yourself that additional faith and kind of behind the trade, well, then take advantage of the list. If the list is telling you and giving you all that faith, then make a move with it. And that's what I did here. But also keep in mind and listen to what I say, I throw out some requirements. So it's not like I just am looking at the list and saying, okay, yeah, it looks good, okay, I'm just getting in. No, I make some comments of, no, it's looking good, I'm having confidence, but I still want to see some additional things. And these things, as you'll see, I'll explain. But the core here being is just because you look at something and say, okay, that looks, no, there's more that goes into it. And the quote unquote more that goes into it is, yeah, everything was looking great. I still like the setup, but you still got to acknowledge, but I could totally be wrong. However, if it does behave in a certain manner, then that's going to be kind of the final, cherry on top that would give me the faith to indeed add to the position. So let's watch how the rest of this plays out. And again, listen to what I'm saying. Listen to the criteria that I'm listing out in terms of the final behavior that I would need to see how, the price, behave in. And this thing is very, very weak. If it comes back down here to 28.15, like I said, I will be looking to now actually add to the position. No longer looking to take profits, but add. Because I really think if that goes, it should go very nicely. So but that 28.40s now, there we go. Adding more. So now I have 1,000 shares. Down below it goes. So now I have 200 shares left. Let's see if we can get it down below 27. A lot of buyers there. There we go, down through 27.50. Oh, wow. Well, I tried to pull it. There we go, another 100. So 100 shares left. If this thing looks like it wants to get down to 27, I will potentially pull off another 50 shares. Let's see if 20, is this thing going to get halted? Do I want to hold through a halt? I'll hold a halt with 50 shares and we'll see what happens with 50 shares. So this thing is going to get halted, meaning if you keep watching, there it is. There's the halt. So nice. It should, probably speaking, gap down some more. But a halt is an unknown situation, which is why I decided to take out 50 shares because, who knows? This thing could theoretically gap up and all of a sudden open up at $35. It probably won't do that. Odds are it'll gap down in the direction. And as you saw there, it was definitely going downwards. So like I said, the safe assumption is that it'll gap down, but there are no guarantees in the market. So we'll see what happens with it. But there we go. Very nice trade so far. I have closed 400. So I have $435 in my pocket already. The open right there means that's how much I'm still up in the trade, but that number could go red because I still have 50 shares. So that's my open profit and loss. Open just means that's still got an ability to change back and forth, but the close means that has been put in the bank. So again, theoretically speaking, I'm nervous, but not really nervous because again, I only have 50 shares left and odds are, if anything, it'll gap down. Maybe it'll open up right where it was. But overall, very, very happy that I added to that trade. And sometimes when you have conviction as a trader, when you like a setup, you got to go with it. And just to offer up some more context here, this members had the same opportunity that I did. You can see within the chat room right here. That right there is where that was alerted, that 28 flush point.
Now, I got in a little bit sooner, but again, as soon as it started to break down, I added once again. But point here being, even if members waited for 28, they're now sitting at, an 85-cent move in their favor. An 85 cents move in your favor. Am I saying that's a grand slam trade for people? Not necessarily, but I mean, that's plenty of wiggle room to, be putting and constructing yourself a winning trade. And now the great question is, well, how big of a winning trade? Because I still have 50 shares. I don't know if this thing gaps down $5, well, then that 50 shares is going to get me that much more. Now, I highly doubt it gaps down $50. But to be fair, and this is why I can't stand halts, this is why I think halts are a joke. Even if it works out in my favor and I make more money, I still contend halts are a joke. Government regulations stepping in, because listen, I mean, look at it right now. Everything is out of my control. I have no idea where this thing is going to open. And that's kind of a scary spot to be in, but that's why I had to lower the share size, got out with 50, and I didn't even want to do 50. You heard me say I wanted to see at least get down to 27, but because of this halt, well, I had to, actually get out a little sooner than what I wanted to with a portion of my position. So still have 50 shares left. Let's see, this was halted at 9:37, so about 2 minutes it should open up. So I'm just going to pause until that point. All right, it should be coming and halted anytime now, so I'll just stall for a little bit because I don't want to miss the open. And if it looks like it's going to go up over 28, then I'll just get out. Like I said, I don't even know where this thing's going to open. Usually these things will move around a little bit to give you an idea, but as of right now, I have no idea. I mean, hopefully it opens up even lower. Now, yesterday it got halted and it pretty much opened up right away and then bounced upwards. So we'll see if that happens or not. There we go. So okay, opened up. There we got the breakdown. Nice. Now going in my favor. Let's see if we can get some more. See if it can get down through 26. There we go. So pulled off another 25 at 26.04. And I think the party might be over for now. So there we go. I'm just going to take it. And I mean, let's be honest, 25 shares. I mean, this thing could drop $4, and that's quote unquote only $100. So I'm happy with that though. $500 a day keeps the day job away, and I'm up $534. It's 9:43, and 5 of those minutes was me just waiting for this thing to open back up. So really, in all actuality, we'll just call it whatever, $500 or $530 in 15 minutes. I am quite happy with that.
Pretty good stuff, huh? I mean, not to pat myself on the back, but nailed it to the point where that thing went down so much so that the market had to actually halt it. And then you saw how I dealt with the halt and got a little, I guess, miniature learning lesson on my thoughts on halts, my little rant on halts, but also how you can deal with them. But at the core, you saw, I recognized some things. But then I still needed to see, all right, well, I want to see the price come back down though. And there it came back down and boom, added. And it turned out to be an awesome trade, the $500 in a very respectable amount of time. But again, I really just want to reiterate, this is why you've got to come up with a list that meets your needs. I talked about it before we cut to the live trade. We're all different. We all have different personal risk tolerance levels, and you need to keep that in mind as you build the list. Now, yes, going out there and learning general people's strategies, how tools work from a general perspective, which is my courses are all about. I'll teach you how to use level twos and the technical charts and all of that to identify these sorts of setups. But at the end of the day, that fine tuning. For example, maybe you are saying, because you have your own list, Clay, according to my list, I would have actually added to the position sooner than what you did. And I'm not saying you're wrong. All I'm saying is, hey, there's a perfect example of the difference in our personal risk tolerance levels where that fine tuning comes into play. Maybe you're saying, Clay, I don't like that setup at all. I can't believe you added. That's fine. We can agree to disagree. No harm in that. Again, a difference in personal risk tolerance. I'm not saying you're wrong, and I don't think you're saying I'm wrong. You're just saying, I didn't quite see, I didn't quite feel comfortable and confident what you saw. So that's why, yeah, you got to have that list, but that underlying aspect is you got to develop the list that fits into your personal risk tolerance. But you do that, and when you have a true strategy and true system, that is how you really do make even more money than you originally anticipated. Because I was never planning to add to the position. I got in, I was thinking it should be a quick move, didn't quite happen, but then as things played out, I thought, okay, all right, I'm liking this, and then I actually even made even more. And that's a beautiful thing about trading when you actually have a system and when you know to add more. Once again, I started with this. I'm going to end with it very quickly. Adding more does not imply randomness, does not imply, uh-oh, I've been wrong, so I'm going to try to, average down or average up, and hopefully I can, that's where people get themselves in a whole lot of hurt. But when you know how to add in the proper way, add with confidence, add what it actually makes sense to add, well, yeah, you can make even more money. So if you enjoyed this video, and if you enjoy these where I combine the blackboard with actual live trade videos, quickest way to communicate that to me, just hit that like button. Also, comments, questions, suggestions, leave those down below. I do read comments and I will reply to them. And then finally, check out the channel. If you enjoyed the live trade portion from this video, then I have an entire playlist of just live trade videos. So be sure to check those out. And hopefully you decide to subscribe to the channel. I'd love to have you as a subscriber. But get out there, build that list so you can be confident on when it's a proper time to actually add to the position and make even more money. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only one losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And yeah, the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.